We'd like to welcome everyone to another episode of the Gangster Chronicles podcast. It's your boy Bigg Steele along with
Jill.
You know, Eiht, we get those guests every once in a while, man, that they got a lot of special shit going on. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
I remember us doing the top gangster rap albums of all time with the homie Soren Baker, man, and his name just kept popping up and everything, you know, among some pretty respectable people, man. You know, we got Brotha Lynch Hung in the building today.
What up, what up, what up?
That's
man,
official.
we appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate y'all having me, man. What's up, Eiht?
What's cracking, my nigga? What it do?
Chilling, man.
You already know, shit.
Can't wait to get back down there, man. I had to come down here to handle some business and work on the album. So I've been out here for a year, but I was living out there for 5 years.
Yeah, I seen some shit you just posted the other day. Said you was headed back to Southern Cali.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
just
man.
Tying up a couple loose ends.
Oh yeah, you gotta do that.
For sure. What year did you come down to LA, Lynch?
It was 2017.
2017. You was down here for a while.
Yeah. I was staying up in the valley.
Yeah, I remember that. I was working on I think I was working on a little project and shit when they told me you were staying down here. I was up at Frank Nitty's little spot and they told me you had moved down here. So yeah. I was like, oh, that's official.
Yeah, I'll be back, man.
You got to get away from the shit sometime, man. You know what I'm saying? Give your mind a rest. You feel me?
Yeah. Going through some little things, so.
Of course, exactly.
Yeah, so.
That's, you know what, man? That's a part of life.
I'll be back, man. I lived in this motherfucker my whole life, man. I got it. I loved the change when I moved out there, man, so.
Yeah, and you was in the valley. You know, Lynch, early on, you had a lot going on your records, man. You had a whole lot going on. Do you ever look back on some of the stuff that you wrote back then and trip out on it?
Yeah, man. I used to trip off how active I was. You know what I mean? And people coming in my life telling me to slow down. You know, that shit. I think about that a lot. You know what I mean? I recently talked to the homie that first told me in LA, nigga, you could be a rap star. You need to take that more serious and let us do all the other shit. You know what I mean? And shit, just recently, he been gone. He been gone for like 30 years, but recently he had talked to my baby mama and got the number, talked to him. I had to show him love, hella love, because he gave me that advice that changed my life. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you took heed to his advice then?
Yeah. We was in that Roosevelt hotel in Hollywood when he told me that shit. Ever since then, bro, I slowed down, started taking my music serious. I was on the line. I was on the fence, like, which way I wanted to go.
You know what, man? I noticed that. I talk to Eiht about that all the time, man. It seemed like when you in that life, man, and that banging, that it's like it almost can consume you if you're not careful. I don't see a whole bunch of real talented brothers, not just in rap. I'm talking about cats that could have played in the NFL, cats that could have played in the NBA. They could have did a number of different things. They just couldn't leave the neighborhood alone.
Real talk, man. Shit, I'm an only child too, so I was gravitating toward the homies. You know what I mean? So the homies had me before my mom even knew it. You know what I mean? So I was on that gate, like I fell off on the right side.
And let me ask you this, Lynch. When you came out with 24 Deep, that was your first album, right?
Yeah.
It was a lot, it wasn't as much of the rip gut stuff on there, but it was real active. But you had some, you had some commercial stuff on there, just some good old-fashioned gangster music, right?
Yeah, I used to do a whole bunch. Man, I used to be a hip-hop artist in the 80s, bro. My name used to be Ice Cold. So, a little bit of that was mixed into the 24 Deep, as far as like the faster, groovier songs and shit. So I was getting out of that 80s hip hop type rap style and getting more into my banging shit because I was so active. You know what I mean? But shit, if you heard Ice Cold, it's a whole different rapper. That rapper was Run DMC-ish or LL Cool J-ish. You know what I mean? And not too many people heard that. I had a song that I remade called Outstanding from the Gap Band. You know what I mean? So it was about that stuff. And that stuff I used to put out on consignment. And that's how I became like a local, you know what I mean? I guess you can call celebrity.
Oh, so you became 80s. Like, how did you hook up with Cedric Singleton and all those guys?
This dude, Miko, he started paying for my studio time. And Miko had ran into Cedric Singleton. And at the time, me and X was good. And X had found him and took me over to his house. And dude said, I can get you a record in the stores. And I was amped up. I was like, let's go.
So it was just that simple back then. Wow, that's crazy. It sounds like your situation.
Well, you know, when you young and when you in the neighborhood and shit, and you know, you get that freak chance to, I guess, you know, get to the studio and you meet that one person that say they could put you on. A lot of us was naive to, you know, contracts and all that other shit, you know, which is the important shit today. You get me? Your publishing, your royalties and writing. Nigga, we was just, you know, especially being an active hood, nigga, you basically just like, oh, you can put a record in the store? Like, shit, let's go. You not really, and a nigga could get you to sign on the dotted line and you not really questioning the antics because first of all, when the homies bring you to a nigga, you already thinking, you know, shit gonna be on the fair and up and up. And that was something like the same shit, some of the same shit with us, you know. The homies brought us to Lonzo and Unknown, you know. We just some young naive niggas from the block. Them niggas knew, they knew though about, you know, producers and writers and publishing and all that shit. We was the type of nigga like, nigga, let me see my face on the album cover and it's in the swap meet or some shit. You thought you was a success. You're not asking nigga about, okay, well, how many points am I getting in? What's the royalty rating? You know, I'm writing all my own shit, so that means I get 50% of the publishing automatically. You wasn't asking them fucking questions. You was like, nigga, you go put my record in the store? Oh, nigga, you A100 with me.
That's real talk. That's exactly how my shit went too.
You know, I mean, shit, we young. We was niggas trying to learn how to serve dope and bang for the hood and catch an enemy slipping and shit like that. We wasn't no, and I'm not to say we wasn't educated because niggas knew shit. We went to school and learned the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. Now, furthering that, because we felt, what the fuck is George Washington and the slave shit gonna do with my hustling on the block? You get me?
Yeah, real talk. We knew our math. We was on our math.
I know how to take a 50 and double that motherfucker up and go up to a quarter and a half. And I know what 9 ounces cost and what I'm gonna get back and all that shit.
Exactly.
Well, what the fuck I need some motherfucking calculus and some motherfucking shit for, nigga? I know how to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get me? So we wasn't intrigued by the knowledge of what a contract really, you know, instilled. You get me? We didn't know that shit was taking the niggas publishing and shit, and we wasn't thinking about, oh damn, you know this song you wrote, that's your money right there, nigga. This man. Nigga, you couldn't have asked me shit about no motherfucking publisher when I first started rapping. What the fuck is
either, bro.
Nigga, what? They publish like a book publisher. What they putting it out? Nigga didn't even have the motherfucking homie sense as far as they were, because they were knowledgeable, right? They knew how to get the records in the store, which means they knew a whole fucking lot.
Oh, they did.
They knew about the niggas publishing and all that. They did not fail to introduce that to us because they knew that was make a steal.
In Cedric's case, he had already put out a rapper named Homicide from out here. So he knew, you know, that's why lightweight believed him.
He knew how to get it.
Exactly.
So he put out, let me get this straight. He put out Homicide because Homicide was on priority as well, correct?
Yeah, for a minute. Yep.
I remember that because, like I said, I had a record store during that time. So without going too much into that part, Lynch, how did your deal look? Did you and him sign a contract initially where you signed to Black Market Records, or was it just like on a handshake?
Bro, it was a handshake, and then he put me right in the studio. You know what I mean? We did the paperwork after about a year or something.
Okay,
but I was
so
in the studio halfway done with 24 Deep off a handshake.
Okay, so by the time you get to doing it, and 24 Deep was received well. And did you see your life changing any?
Not by 24 Deep. It was after Season.
So it's after Season sickness. Now, when did Priority Records come into the picture?
I never really paid attention to 24 Deep sales or anything like that. All I knew is that I had went to Seattle for my very first show, and it was hella people there. So I knew 24 Deep was doing cool. But then Season, I came right back home after that show because I was so amped up, jumped right in the studio and did Season. You know what I mean? Because like Seattle, them Crips over there just had me amped up. And when I got home, I was thinking about what had happened at that show and just went in and started doing Season and changed my little shit up. Like I didn't have none of the happier songs like I did on 24 Deep for Season because of the Crips in Seattle had a nigga all amped up. You know what I mean? So
you really just turned up and got worse then?
Yeah, when I put that record out, remember when Tower Records was open? When that release date came, I passed by Tower Records and there was a line like down the street. So later that night, after the store was about to close, I knew dude in there because I had put some tapes on consignment. So I went up in there and and I asked him, what was that line for? And he was like, bro, you know it was for your album. And then that's when I knew, you know, you
weren't doing in-stores or nothing like that?
Huh?
You weren't doing in-stores or anything like that? The stuff of that nature, that kind of promo?
Not for 24 Deep, not at all. But I started doing it for Season after that.
Okay, so for Season, go ahead, Eiht.
I didn't do any, I don't believe I did any promo for my first record. It's a Compton thing. Damn, I can't even recall. I think I probably didn't start doing promo till maybe my second record, Straight Checking Them, because I had Growing Up in the Hood on there. So that's why we started promoing because we had the #1 rap single in the country when Growing Up in the Hood came out. It went to #1 on Billboard rap charts. So that's why we started promo touring. But my first record,
everybody was slapping that Compton thing out here though, bro.
But we didn't. Nigga, we got one video with It's a Compton thing, and then that was because remember I said back sometime Orpheus was losing a deal with Capitol. Capitol had invested so much with Orpheus as far as rap was concerned, you know, because Capitol, you know, they had my nigga King T, and you know the King T record was banging. So, but everything that came through Orpheus was bullshit at the time. So basically, they were on their last legs when we came through. It's probably why we didn't get a promotional tour, because
they probably thought y'all was just gonna be in one of them other groups,
right? Because they had never. We were the first West Coast group that they fucked with. You know, Orpheus was based out of New York, so they had a lot of New York artists, but there wasn't no top tiers. You get me? Rap was fresh at that time. You get me? Around 89, 90. So, well, for our shit, you know. So, they didn't know what the fuck to do with us when we came along. So we didn't get on no promo tour. We didn't do none of that shit. And we put out a record and was at the crib or in the hood.